Hi everyone, this is Kristen and I'm going to be your design instructor over the next several weeks. I'm coming to you today because I want to talk to you a little bit about the syllabus, a little bit about how to record your work, a little bit about the flow of the class. But first I want to just talk to you briefly about what design is. I teach both drawing and design, and the main difference between those is intent. Yes, there's intent in both cases, but drawing is a little more fluid, a little more open. Design, we tend to have a purpose from the start, and we are problem solving. We're looking for ways, we're looking for the best solution to the problem that has been presented to us. And so in terms of that, if you've read the introduction in the book, our author notes that design is both a noun and a verb. So it is the product of that exploration, but it is also the act of exploring. So when we are designing something, we are problem solving, and then we present the world with the design that we've made. So in this class, we're going to do quite a few problem solving exercises, and then we're going to do a few projects where you can put a little of what you've discovered in your problem solving into making a design. Simply put, the exercises you'll have about a week to do and turn in. The projects you'll have a little more, 2 weeks in the case of your final 3 weeks. And so what you're going to want to do is save everything that you do so that you can reference it as you're designing later. So save the exercises, save the products you've made, save all of your designs, your doodles, anything. All of that is reference material when you have to do some more problem solving. You want to build on what you've already discovered. Now, every week I'm going to release a module. And in that module, you're going to find a video like this one, explaining the concepts for the week and demonstrating the project. Sometimes there's more than one video. Sometimes I include extra ones so that you have more reference material. You need to read all of those things and have a fairly good understanding of them before you take the quiz that generally is presented every week. It's a brief quiz, and it's designed to just make sure that you have a good understanding of what the instruction was before you move on to the exercise or project for the week. So within that module, you're also going to find an assignment page that has the specifics for the assignment that I've demonstrated in the video. So you're going to see what materials to use, sizes, step-by-step instructions, and then sometimes examples, not always, but sometimes, usually getting those from the video. And so you can reference both of those. You can go back to the video, you can reference the assignment page so that you'll know what to do for the assignment. You generally have about 5 to 6 days for your exercises, and then for your projects, like I said, a couple of weeks. So every week that module is going to be in a pretty straightforward order. You're going to have your instruction, you're going to have your quiz, you're going to have your exercise or project, and then you're going to have a discussion board. And this is the one thing we miss when we do online classes. You guys don't get to interact and see each other's work as you're doing it. So the discussion board is the way for you to interact, look at one another's work, use your design vocabulary to comment, give suggestions, respond to suggestions from other people, and really expand your work. Because remember, you're not just making that design for yourself, you're making it to share with the world. So if we put it on the discussion board, you can share it with this smaller world that has your best interests in mind. Everyone wants you to be better, and that's what this discussion board is designed to do. So you will post your image, and then you will answer a few questions, and I'll give you some prompts each week on the discussion board, and I'll tell you what to upload. And then you will answer that first prompt, and then you will check back and make sure that you comment on at least 3 other students' work. So about your workspace. Design's a little easier to do because we work small and we're generally pretty clean. Although I will say we do have some messier things that we're going to work with later, paint, things like that. So it's kind of up to you where you work. You should be happy being in there because you are going to spend quite a bit of time there. Generally speaking, you're going to spend 10 hours a week working on design sometimes more when you have a project. You can work at a desk, at a table. I'm probably going to work at this taller desk in my office, which is really nice because it has my printer right there. And also I have a flat light board that I can use. Now you don't need to have a light board. You can easily just hold your items up to a window and trace them that way. The only downside is if you're working at night, it's going to be a little trickier. So if you want to invest in a light board, you can, but it is not on the class materials list. I'd like you to decide where you're going to work. You don't have to do a lot to set it up, but just make sure that you have a spot in your mind that you want to work at, and take a picture of yourself in that spot and go ahead and just upload that to the discussion board. And you're going to just describe the spot and tell us a little bit about yourself. That's how we're going to all meet each other. Make sure you look at your classmates' postings and give them some input. Think about what they've stated or the way they're going to use their space and what way that might work really nicely for you as well. Now let's talk just a little bit about photographing or scanning your work. These are pretty small pieces and pretty clean. So if you have a good scanner, like I have a little scanner right here, and I can scan up to legal size, that's ideal for most of these because it's going to give you a good clean image. So I would suggest that first. If you're able to, go ahead and scan. If you can't scan because you don't have a scanner or because your paper is a little bit too big, or we're going to do something that's a little dimensional later on so you won't be able to scan it, there are other ways you can photograph. Simply put, you need to take your work to a place that is near a window or door where there is light coming in. You don't want direct light. If you get direct light on your paper, it's going to create a weird shadow and it's going to interfere with the image. So you want to make sure it's set near a door, and then you want to make sure that you are not casting a shadow on it either. You also don't want to hold the drawing while you're photographing it because it can bend off in space. You don't want to do it at some weird angle or crop a corner off. You want to make sure that the lighting's pretty true. Once you've got that where it needs to be and the light seems fairly uniform or even, square it, make sure you haven't cropped anything off, and then take your photo. I usually take 2 or 3. You got to hold that camera really steady. Don't be in a hurry. You can probably in your phone just crop it, and that's all you need to do. We don't want to see anything but the edge of the work, because remember, the edge is a very important part of what we're looking at. So you want to make sure you're cropping that edge accurately. The point of these photographs is not to make the design into something else, at least not for this class. What you're trying to do is represent what you have in front of you as best you can. So it should look as much like that piece as it can. It should look exactly like it. So keep Photoshop to a minimum if you want to do some manipulation, but you can up contrast, things like that if you need to. Once you have those files, make sure you're labeling them with the week and the name of the project or exercise, and then you could put your name at the end. That way you can reference those later. The nice thing about doing this is that you're going to have a nice portfolio, a nice digital portfolio to keep for yourself. Now there's also a materials list that you're going to see in there, and there are quite a few materials. And then we also do have a textbook. It is at the bookstore. You can also order it online, and it's an excellent textbook. You're going to have readings from this every week, and in fact, for this week, I'm going to want you to read chapter 1. Very short. That's the beauty of this textbook. Here's the beginning of chapter 1, and then here is the end. Very short, very sweet, very well designed. So make sure you have that, and make sure you do the readings, because my lectures will build on those readings, but the quizzes might include information that I don't cover in my video lectures. So you are going to need to read the assigned readings, and you'll see those in your syllabus as well, and I will put them in each of your modules. Okay, you guys, that's it. I think it's going to be really fun quarter working on design. I'm excited to see what you guys come up with. And I'm excited to meet you all hopefully soon. I do want to remind you that I'm available via phone and email. And if you ever need to talk to me in person, I am happy to set up a one-to-one Zoom call outside of the ones I'm requiring. So have fun, get designing, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Thanks.